Alright, today's the day. Time to go in there and right some wrongs.
Wow, really? Right some wrongs? You're trying way too hard to make your name sound cool.
Look, I've got to come up with something cool for my business card.
What's so important about a business card anyway?
Well, I'd like to start defending clients that aren't you.
And what's that supposed to mean?
It means stop murdering people.
Allegedly.
Right. Good luck convincing the judge of that one. Oh, wait, I thought of a really good one. You know why they call me Right?
Oh my god, not this again!
Get it? Because right sounds just like right.
Nick, they're the same word. Now focus already. You are ready for the trial, aren't you?
You were watching me vomit for like half an hour. The answer hasn't changed.
Jeez, this is the guy I entrusted with my life. That's great.
Look, I'll be fine. I'll just tell the court what I told Gumshoe about Mr. White being the murderer. Sounds like a flawless plan, right? Yeah, about as flawless as my British accent, pal. Oh, hey Gumshoe, what are you doing here? You know, the usual stuff. Just passing around Mr. Edgeworth's top secret list of evidence and junk. Oh, thanks. I needed something to not pay attention to today. That's exactly what Mr. Edgeworth says to me every day.
Wow, that's actually kinda sad.
That's not sad. It's true friendship, pal. What is sad, however, is what Mr. Wright just said a little bit ago. What do you mean? The thing about Red White being the killer? Yeah, that. Don't tell me that's your only strategy for the trial today. It's not, right? Your silence speaks volumes, pal. Well, what's the big deal anyway? I know it was him. You know it was him. Edgeworth even knows it was him. Hell, I'm sure even the judge knows it was him. I know nothing. We all know it was Red White. How hard can this trial possibly be? Did I not tell you that Mr. Edgeworth is known as the Demon Prosecutor? Yeah, but I figured that was like just a stupid nickname from college or something. You know, like Penix Wright.
Penix?
Don't ask. Look, Mr. Edgeworth hasn't lost a single trial since he became a prosecutor at the age of 20. Now, do you really expect a guy with the name Demon Prosecutor to hold a fair trial? Oh, good point. Now I'm gonna go throw up some more now. Don't worry, pals, because Dick Gumshoe's here to help.
Why are you helping us? We're your enemy!
Truth be told, Mr. Edgeworth's been kind of a jerk lately, and someone needs to take him down a peg. Who else better to do that than his lover? We're not lovers! It was one time at camp at most. I mean, Gumshoe, how exactly can a man of your, talents help our case? Ha! You take me for some sort of idiot or something. But if I'm such an idiot, then how do you explain I got my paws on this? Whoa, how did you get this picture? I dropped it when Mr. White punched me in the face all those times. Well, how do you think you made it back to your office after getting a face full of Red White's well-manicured fist? The answer was Gumshoe. Oh, so you saved me? Thanks, I guess. But, why were you at Blue Corp when I was? That has nothing to do with anything. Stop questioning me! Oh, okay then. But won't Red White think I still have his evidence if he doesn't have it anymore? Don't worry, pal. Your good pal Gumshoe took care of that. How so? Oh, you'll see. When? In court, pal. Oh, cool beans.
Nick, what's so special about this photo? Oh my god, why is this a picture of you with a megatama in your hand?
No, nothing, just Mr. White's half-baked attempt to pin the crime on me or something. Hate to break it to you, pal, but Mr. White's plan is as full-baked as the potato in my pocket. What do you mean? See this potato? It's fully baked. As is Mr. White's plan to frame you. You're not saying that this is a real photo, are you? About as real as me carrying around a baked potato, pal. Gumshoe, please, drop the potato similes for a moment, alright? Man, you guys are no fun. So, with my special detective eyes, I can deduce with 100% certainty that this picture is genuine.
No way! So the guy in the photo is really Nick? But I thought he was in jail for murdering himself or something stupid sounding like that.
Exactly! Me and the future me were at the detention center when this photo was taken. Well, I don't know what to tell you, pal, but I can say that Dick Gumshoe is known for two things. Expertly deducing doctored photography and making a mighty pot of good old-fashioned gumbo. You hear that, Maya? Good old-fashioned gumbo.
Oh boy, that totally makes me forget all of my previous concerns.
Yeah, my gumbo tends to have that effect.
Oh wait, no it doesn't, because Mr. I Love Edgeworth's sweetheart over here decided to let this trial keep going, even though we all know that Red White guy did it.
Hey, pal, you have absolutely zero evidence to back that up. Pal. That's what you think, Gumshoe, but what you just said a minute ago is gonna turn out to be my secret lawyer weapon. Look out, Edgeworth. I'll show you who's really right. Damn it, why is sounding cool so difficult?
Court is now in session. The trial of Maya Gilligan Fay shall now commence.
Hey, Edgeworth. What's with the frills?
It's called a cravat, you cretin.
You, wouldn't happen to be associated with that Von Karma guy, would you?
At one point, he was my mentor. Do you know why I say was?
Nope.
Because a certain defense attorney shattered Mr. Von Karma's reputation in their first trial.
Wait a sec. You're that Phoenix Wright?
Of course I'm that Phoenix Wright. You were there judging that exact trial.
I was? Jeez, I better lay off the bath salts.
I implore you to prepare yourself right. I will avenge my mentor, no matter what it takes.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you planning on cheating today?
What? Of course not. That's just silly.
Oh, okay then. Well, now that that's been cleared up, is the defense ready?
The defense? Oh, jeez, I can't believe I'm actually facing off against Edgeworth.
Mr. Wright, I ordered you to stop fantasizing about Mr. Edgeworth.
Wait, what? There wasn't any fantasizing going on here.
It's okay to be curious, right? After all, I have grown since we last met.
Wait, so is Mr. Edgeworth hitting on you or something?
You know, it's always been difficult to tell with this guy.
Don't even try it. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Are you ready or not? Although, let's be perfectly honest, we both know the answer to that.
Yes. I mean, no! The, defense is, ready to, do stuff, Your Honor.
Well, it seems Mr. Wright is as confident as ever. What say you, Mr. Edgeworth? Are you ready to begin the trial? Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution wins, Your Honor.
Is that so? Well, I guess I hereby find Maya Gilligan Fay.
Objection! Hey, Judge, you think that maybe, just maybe, you're being a little too hasty with that verdict?
Objection! And so he makes his first objection. Are you positive you can handle this, right?
You know, I'm never sure about these things.
Indeed. Your Honor, I beseech you to strike Mr. Wright's comment from the record. Hasty decisions are the very foundation of this court system.
You've got a point there, Mr. Edgeworth.
Objection!
Yes, Mr. Wright?
That's, not true!
Oh, I see. Mr. Wright has shown a shred of doubt in this case. I guess that means we can keep going.
So, is that how you want to play? You want to come at me, bro? You want to tussle?
Yeah, Mr. Wright. You rustling for a tussling?
Well, yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I am indeed rustling for a tussling.
Is that so? I accept your acceptance of my challenge. Let's get this metaphorical tea kettle boiling.
Right. So, are you gonna call a witness?
That is my job, is it not?
Somebody's gotta do it. And I don't really care if it's the jerkin red or the jerkin blue.
It's maroon, Your Honor. Also, Gumshoe!
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, pal?
Tell the court what happened on the night of the murder.
Are you sure? You'll actually let me read the case summary?
Indeed, Gumshoe. I believe you're ready. Do not fail me.
You got it, sir. So, let's see. Miss Fay was murdered in her law office at 11:40 at night. The murder weapon was the Thinker, a local art piece made by some homeless kid or something. The killer, that innocent little girl over there, was the only person at the scene of the crime. Clearly, she murdered her own sister with no motive whatsoever. Wait a sec. Yeah, that's right! Miss Fay had no reason to murder her sister.
Damn it, Gumshoe, you had one job, to give a flawless summary. Your summary not only included a flaw, but hand-delivered it to the defense in a dainty gift basket. Expect your upcoming quarterly raise to be a bit more literal.
Aw, man.
In place of the detective's errant blabbering, I must call a decisive witness.
Alright, so, what makes this witness so decisive? Aside from the boobies, of course.
As she will soon divulge, this witness saw the moment of the murder. Witness? Name and occupation, if you would.
My name is April May. I am employed at Blue Corp as the CEO's personal secretary.
Could you explain to the court what you witnessed that night?
I was staying at the Gatewater Hotel on the night of the murder. I could see Miss Fay's office from my window. And at around 12:30 at night, I saw that ratty-looking defendant over there kill the victim in front of the window.
Objection! But doesn't the autopsy report state that the victim was killed at 11:45?
Wait, What?
And again, feel free to correct me on this, but you said the victim was killed at 12:30. This discrepancy can only be the result of a contradiction!
There's no way that can be right.
Damn it!
Witness, you've got some splaining to do.
Objection! Witness, please explain why you made this error in determining the time.
I originally thought it was 12:30 because the lamp was turned off. Miss Fay turns her lamp off at midnight every night.
Hold it! Could you please explain why you know such a specific detail about Miss Fay's lifestyle?
Well, I can tell you I'm definitely not wiretapping her office, if that's what you're getting at.
Wait a sec, are you sure about that?
Well, sure I'm sure. I stay at the Gatewater Hotel every night, and I just so happen to be across from Miss Fay's office.
Objection! You seriously expect this court to believe that you stay at a hotel every night?
Yeah, that's some straight up Zack and Cody shit.
Don't be so quick to judge rich people for their clearly superior lifestyle. Unless you have evidence proving Miss May had another reason for staying at the hotel, her statement stands.
Of course I do. I mean, I do have this after all.
Objection! Where did you get that?
You know what? I have no idea actually. It was just sitting there in the court record. Meaning, of course, that it's a valuable piece of evidence!
So you're saying that Miss May has been wiretapping the Fay & Co. law offices all this time?
Indeed I am. What do you have to say about that, Miss May?
I say, how about...
Damn it! That's not fair! Objection! Before we go any further, I believe we should examine the contents of the alleged wiretap. For all we know, Mr. Wright could have forged this evidence.
Objection! So, we're just gonna blindly accept whatever Edgeworth submits and accuse me of forging evidence? Yeah, this court is fair. Real fair.
Welcome to the courtroom, Wright. Now, I request to have this wiretap examined.
Mr. Edgeworth, your request has been sustained. I hereby order the defense and prosecution to take a 5.
What, like 5 minutes?
Mr. Wright, just take a 5.
I have no idea what a 5 is.
Mr. Wright, a 5, please.
Whatever.
Court is back in session. So, what was on the wiretap, Mr. Edgeworth?
The last thing recorded was Mia Fay talking on the phone with the defendant before the murder.
See, I told you Miss May was spying on the victim's office.
Objection! I hate to do this to you, Wright. All of this shenaniganery has led you nowhere. Miss May's wiretapping was indeed criminal, but not murder, and thus remains unrelated to this specific case.
Unrelated, you say? Spying on a person who was murdered that very night makes her seem pretty suspicious.
And the defendant's phone call to the victim moments before her death is even more suspicious. I can continue to outlogic you for the rest of the day if you like.
How can you stand there and say that a phone call is more suspicious than a friggin' wiretap?
I don't know, right? Aren't you forgetting that it's your job to essentially do everything in this courtroom?
Object! Damn it, you're right.
As I ought to be. Now, I pose a simple question to you, Wright. Can you prove that Miss May's wiretapping crime is connected to the murder?
I, have no idea, actually.
Is that so? Well, that's good enough for me. I hereby find Maya Gilligan.
Objection!
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Hey, that wasn't me. My objection sounds cool. And manly. Sometimes. Are you sure about that, Phoenix? Yeah, Maya, I'm pretty sure Mia? You're a ghost! No, I'm just a regular ghost. Maya summoned me back from the dead to give you lawyer advice. So straighten up, Phoenix. It's about to get heavy in here. How is this? Why is this? What's happening? We're the Fays. Channeling souls is kind of our thing. Right. Of course. I knew that. Good to hear. Now listen up. You have evidence saying that the witness was wiretapping my office, as catty bitches like her are ought to do. But Mr. Edgeworth is saying it has nothing to do with my murder. But that's totally not true, right? Duh. All you need to do is look at the crime from a different angle. Oh, so I've got to be more obtuse. No, you idiot. A metaphorical angle. Don't focus on a link between the murder and the wiretapping. Focus on why the wiretap even exists in the first place. Why, oh why does this wiretap exist?
My name is April May. I'm employed at Blue Corp as the CEO's personal secretary.
My name is Red White, and I am the CEO of Blue Corp, more commonly known as Los Tokyo Angeles' most profitable information gathering company.
Of course! I've got all I need! Well, don't just stand there and wave it around. Scream it at an unnecessary volume. You're the boss, boss! Take that!
What are you trying to say with this pitiful scrap of paper?
There are 2 solid facts pertaining to this case. 1. Mia Fay was killed on the night of February 22nd. 2. April May was spying on Miss Fay's office during the night of the murder. Now, Where would Miss May have access to this sort of technology? Why would she be using a wiretap in the first place? Why is she such a cold-hearted bitch? The answer to all these questions? Blue Corp!
Objection! Right, I must warn you. Your words carry little clout in this courtroom as it stands. If you're actually accusing an entire company of being in on this murder, then I'd say your shit has indubitably been flipped.
Well, Edgeworth, if you weren't so busy interrupting statements, then maybe you'd hear that I'm specifically indicting the CEO of Blue Corp, Red White, with murder!
Egad!
Mr. Wright, if I'm hearing this correctly, there's a very good chance that I'm not, you're actually accusing the boss of a multi-million-dollar company of being a murderer. Are you sure you can handle this?
Oh, geez, when you say it like that, it kind of makes me sound like an asshole.
Which I assure you is not difficult. For starters, there's absolutely zero evidence anywhere linking Red White to this murder.
Oh, you're sure about that?
Oh, come on! The paper again? You can present other pieces of evidence, you do know this, right?
Of course I do. It just so happens that this piece of evidence has multiple purposes. You see, this note was left at the scene of the crime, bearing the bloody writing of the defendant's name. However, who's to say that this evidence isn't some sort of fabrication?
I object to that statement! I in no way, shape, or form fabricated that evidence!
What? No, I wasn't saying that you did it. In fact, the only person who could have fabricated this evidence was Red White!
Well, looking at this note, I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Wright. Look, right there, there's a little doodle of Red White's face. And that's good enough evidence for me.
This is impossible! Gumshoe!
What's the word, Thunderbird?
Did you know that this note was written by Red White?
No. I mean, yes. Please don't put me in the basement again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Very well. I guess I have no choice but to call my next decisive witness.
Oh, great. He has even more decisive witnesses. Oh, and all I've got is this pointer finger. And waving it around doesn't seem to be helping me very much this time.
He's a ferocious testimonial monstrosity prepared with a scathing oration the likes of which you will never live to hear again. This witness will solidify my case, incinerate your pitiful soul, destroy all hope of a victory, and will leave you with a generally unpleasant disposition.
Revenge is finally within my grasp.
Come get some, Wright. You're about to get lawyered so hard